Hi, everybody. Mrs. Curl here. I cannot believe it's been a month since I've seen all of you, and now I'm teaching in my basement. But here we are, and I am so glad that so many of you have logged on to this. I have over 100 kids who are logged into this Google Classroom, and more than 80 of you have done the first assignment. I know this isn't ideal. I truly, truly wish that I was with you in the classroom. You guys were great classes. I just enjoyed coming to school every day because of you. So as we go through the rest of this third trimester, I'm going to try to give you some fun activities to do. I hopefully you get something out of it. And as we talk and as the rest of the year goes on, you learn something and get credit for doing the class. So I will go through kind of how the Google Classroom page is going to work and what you've learned so far and what you're going to learn tomorrow. Actually, it'd be today because you're seeing it today. All right, we are not sure how you are going to get credit yet. They are going to look at that this week. But what I'm going to try to do is make it as easy as possible. Every assignment that I'm just going to keep track of who's doing what assignments. The assignments that you need to do are going to be numbered. So the first assignment that you were supposed to do was that number one, gravity, life on the International Space Station. Fun Friday is just something fun to do. I'd love for you to try it. Hopefully you got to build a catapult or at least watch the disaster of my family doing the catapult challenge. So the first thing that I really wanted you to do would be the gravity. And when you clicked on there, it took you to a website or the Google Slides. And in here, I wanted you to see what life was going to be like on the International Space Station because we're trying to study gravity. The whole purpose of this is to understand a force called gravity. And what goes with gravity is called mass, and it goes with weight. And when you were watching the video, you got to see some crazy way that things act when they are in space, how they are different from here on Earth. And so then I asked you to answer the question in this Padlet, and you can see that why astronauts feel weightless, and a lot of you came up with many different answers, and a lot of them had to do with no gravity. So we're going to try to figure out today, what is this no gravity? Is there truly no gravity in space? That's something I really want us to focus in on. Another thing that I was having you look at was how does gravity work? And if you got to do this activity, you had different weighted or different objects that have different masses, and you were seeing how they behave on a sheet or on a blanket. And if you didn't get to do it, there was a video here, and Miss Hubbard also did a video. And one of the questions in your survey or your Google form had to do with what was this indent? And when we talk about this indent that this man has that was produced here, a lot of you said things like gravity, or you said it was mass or weight, but the fabric was actually space. And it's very difficult for us to think of space as some kind of fabric, but what we're trying to show is how do objects act in space. And a second question that some kids were answering is, depending on the size of the object, what happens to the amount of gravity? So I got several different answers for that, and today is where you're going to really decide what happens when an object gets bigger. So for today's lesson, you will go in the classroom, and it's going to take you to one of these Nearpods, which we have done in the past. It's called Mass and Weight. In this activity, you will figure out what is mass, what is weight, how does it affect gravity. And one of my favorite lessons in here, there is an interactive where you will put your weight in and see how does that weight compare on different planets. And by doing that, hopefully we'll be able to come to the conclusion is how do different masses or different sizes affect gravity? And then after we've learned what mass and weight and gravity is, we will put it together and figure out what is actually causing our people to be what we say weightless in space. So Good luck today. Hope you learned something, and I will talk to you soon. Email me if you have any questions.